Hey Warriors fans, I'm Scott Warris. It is time to feature yet another women's basketball NACC Student Athlete of the Week, and for the second time in 3 weeks, it is the Warriors' Sam Leisemann. Sam, congratulations. Twice in 3 weeks, 5th time in your career, and a great week for Warrior women's basketball. A road win at Concordia, Wisconsin, always enjoyable for everybody who ever has been affiliated with WLC. And then back at home, a win over UW Eau Claire. Before we get into specifics, how would you characterize a very good week for you and the team?
Yeah, definitely. It was a hard week. We had finals coming up, so a lot of girls were focusing on that as well, but we also knew that we had to focus on the gym aspect of our lives too. Obviously, Concordia, University of Wisconsin always brings like great teams and always puts up a great fight up against us. We knew we had to be prepared for that game. And then UW Eau Claire, I mean, that's a WIAC school. So we usually don't play those kinds of schools, so it's just a new thing that we had to get used to. So it was just a tough week, but we definitely came through with the wins.
You mentioned the importance of beating Concordia, Wisconsin, and that is a rivalry that has spanned all sports, I think probably for all time, as long as Wisconsin Lutheran has had an athletics program. Do you and the players, do you guys play that up? Does the coaching staff play that up at all, or don't you have to at this point?
I don't really think we play it up. I think we play every game every game gets treated the same. We don't underestimate anyone. We don't overestimate anyone. We really just play our game, do what we know we can do, and play the best to our abilities. You
have had some noteworthy victories this year. You beat the 21st ranked team in the country in Hope. You took #1 Transylvania down to the final seconds. But to beat a WIAC school, to beat UW Eau Claire, there's a significance there. I mean, in the short term and in the big picture, isn't there?
Definitely. I mean, the WIAC schools, they're big schools. They have a lot of recruiting power. And I think we just kind of went into that knowing like, hey, we have to play tough. We got to be mentally tough, physically tough. And it was a physical game, but I'm really happy that we came out with the win.
Yeah, 15 points per game, 12.5 rebounds per game, a couple of double-doubles in the win over CUW and Eau Claire for Sam. What impressed me, I think, the win over CUW and Eau Claire was, and I hate to bring it up, but the game against Edgewood, which I know was a disappointment and a bit of a setback, but the ability to rebound, the way you guys did, what was the key in making that happen?
Well, we knew that it was an off night for us, and to win these next couple of games, we had to come back even stronger, and that means getting into the gym, getting shots up, just bringing our absolute A game to practices, and kind of watching film, going over just like individual player film. That really helped us as well, and we just knew that that game wasn't us. And we just had to come back stronger, and I think we did. Yeah,
if you're better for it, then in the big picture, it's going to pay dividends. You mentioned this is final exam week here at Wisconsin Lutheran. For the folks at home, give us an idea of the added stress, if I can use that word, and pressure that a student athlete has this time of year.
Oh gosh, it's kind of funny. So obviously, final exams, like that is like the last grade that's going in the book before your final grade. So really, at least for me, and I know a lot of, all the girls in the locker room, they're all just kind of like, okay, we have exam time this time and this time and this time, and then we have this time to study, and then we have practice, film, things of that nature going on as well. So this is really where your time management skills are put to the test. There's no screen time. You are really just like in the trenches, down, getting ready for these exams. So the girls were really big study people. So I think they're doing pretty good.
Which is good. As a senior, I mean, do you remember your freshman year going through this, going, how in the world am I supposed to balance all this stuff?
Oh, yeah.
And now you kind of have it down to a science.
Yeah, definitely. That's the best part about being a student athlete, in my opinion, is that you develop the time management skills that you need early on. So now that I'm a senior, it's not easy whatsoever. Like, final exams are hard for everyone, but I think getting used to the time management of it all is definitely way better now.
So would you rather have, like, exams or papers or presentations? Like
Oh
if
my gosh.
you had to.
This is easy for me.
Oh.
Presentations all the way. I can talk in front of anyone about anything that I have learned about before I'd rather do a test. I am a terrible test taker. I don't like them at all. So definitely a presentation is where it's at.
All right, I hear you there. All right, Sam Leisemann, before we let you go, in the time-honored tradition of this little setup that we have here, I hold in my hand, and you're a veteran at this now. We did this 2 weeks ago. I have 3 cards. There are categories of questions on those cards. Pick a card. I will ask you those questions.
Okay, I did middle last time, so I think I'm going to stick with it this one.
Okay. Well, this is apropos. The category is school.
Oh, wow.
How about
Fitting.
that? Here we go. Very fitting. Question number 1. The class you would retake just for fun if you could.
Consumer behavior with Professor Eppen, just because we talked about different advertisements and kind of like what they mean and the overall like human psyche of it all. So it was really interesting.
The gym class activity you feared or hated the most.
Oh gosh,
Which is a tough question when you're talking to an athlete.
Oh, good
Like
point.
for me, I'm not an athlete. There were plenty of things I didn't like in gym class. But did you have one?
I hated running the mile. Or no, I take it back. The pacer test. The pacer test. That is it. Those beeps are like instilled into my mind. Like I think everyone who watches this and you hear the like pacer test, you can hear it in your head after I say the word. It's insane.
We kind of touched on this before, actually. But your best study tip or tactic when it comes to final exams?
Oh wow, this is fitting.
Something specific, maybe.
Specific. So what I do, I take my study guides, I make it into a Quizlet. Okay. Now you got to stay with me here. So then the Quizlet, I go over that a bunch of times, and then to really instill it into my mind, I have my roommate's whiteboard, and I will write out each definition and like all the things that I need to know about it. It takes so long, but it really helps me in the long run.
There you go. Is it better to have a Friday without classes or a Monday without classes?
Oh, definitely a Friday, because then it's just a great start to the overall weekend.
Okay. And the teacher that's impacted you most in your life up to this point?
Oh gosh, that's hard. I would definitely say Professor Van Acker in the business school. He is my capstone professor right now, and also he teaches a bunch of the marketing classes. He is just great. He does a lot for every student, just like every professor here. He really does care, and he brings definitely a great Christian atmosphere into each one of our classes. So I just really appreciate that, and I feel like this business school does it best when it comes to a Christ-centered education here at WLC.
And the wild card question.
Oh gosh, okay.
What ritual, superstition, or habit do you have to do before every single game you play?
Oh gosh, okay. So I used to have just a peanut butter sandwich. I've kind of veered away from that. But now it's getting our big speaker that we have and just absolutely playing the most like absurd music, just like you would think of, like just really songs from like really like long ago that you would probably never like really hear.
In the locker room, this is?
Yeah, in the locker room.
So
And
everybody has to listen to the song you pick.
I'm the DJ. I'm DJ Sam. So everyone listens to my music, and it's either going to make them laugh or they're going to hate me for it.
Okay.
But it really just kind of puts me in like a relaxed mindset. So that's the reason why I do it. It kind of gets my mind away from the game for a little bit, so then I can kind of focus in and not be as stressed during the game.
Well, whatever the music was last week, keep playing it with the big win over Concordia and UW Eau Claire. Sam Leisemann, congratulations. Keep it rolling.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.